After examining the addition of rugby to Marywood and previewing both Pacers basketball teams, it's time to shift our focus one last time. Tonight, we start to introduce to you just some of Marywood-University's most dynamic and interesting student-athletes. From a singer-songwriter, to an architect and illustrator, to a soccer player who is taking her love for athletics off the field, you will get to see Marywood student-athletes like never before. Each athlete has something to give both on and off the field of play, and it's time you knew about it. We're about to take you beyond the arch. He is a fourth-year architecture major minoring in illustration. A graduate from William L. Sayre High School in Philadelphia, he competes in the 100-meter, 200-meter, and 400-meter sprints, and 4x100, 4x200, and 4x400 relays for Marywood's track and field team. Tonight, you get to learn a lot more about him. But first, you get to see him make me look really, really bad. I head to the track to go one-on-one with Dejon Bennett next.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Got a quarter?
I am here at the Dunmore High School track to go one-on-one with Dejon Bennett in a 100-meter sprint. I don't like my chances, but to mentally and physically prepare for such a challenge, I did a little bit of preparation this week. Confession, I never watched the Rocky movies, but I'm just gonna prepare like Rocky. I'm pretty confident, you know. I mean, I don't think he's ever seen the speed that I could bring. You know, Dejon was a walk-on, and he just raced one of his good friends and beat him. So maybe I could be a walk-on someday. You never know. It's painful, but I have to do it.
It's just painful to watch.
I don't want. Try that. Loosen up the abdominals. I have not stretched in a long time. Butterflies, yes. Butterflies. To prepare for a sprint, you first need to jog. Loosen those hamstrings up real well. I've gotten like 10 feet. Keep going. You're next, Dejon. You're next. So this is where I planned a photo finish between me and Dejon. Dejon beats me by a nose, or a stride, or it's close. But clearly, as you can see, I'm not even in the picture. Oh, there I am. It's clear to you, and it's become clear to me, that I can't compete with Dejon Bennett in the 100-meter sprint. What I can do, interview him. That's next.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
In an attic, miniature construction worker figurines aim jackhammers into the holes of a leather belt. Standing on scaffolding, painter figurines work on the back of a red high-heeled shoe while others appear to paint the tip. Under a bed, a figurine of a patient lies tucked in the pocket of a white shirt while doctor and nurse figurines stand nearby. Mechanic figurines install a SIM card into a laptop. Nearby, more figurines stand among numerous household items. Your stuff can help fund job training and placement in your community. The Goodwill and Ad Council logos appear. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, that can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back. I am pleased to be joined by track and field athlete Dejon Bennett. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks.
So I want to get into your track and field at Marywood later on, but I want to start talking about you and what you're interested in and what your interests are outside of that. So you're an architecture major and you minor in illustration.
Yes.
So what got you into architecture specifically? When did you start looking at that as a major and career choice?
Well, it kind of started in middle school. I actually worked on a project, particularly just like a planning project in architecture. It wasn't really like a solid architecture project. It was something we did for like a social studies class, and it just kind of stuck with me throughout high school. So it was something I began to look into. I eventually found Marywood and School of Architecture, and I decided to apply.
So from a middle school project, that really shaped it. That's cool. So what specifically about Marywood was different? I don't know if you toured other schools or you looked at any other places, but what was different about Marywood than other schools?
I actually never toured the school. I actually never even saw the campus until orientation day. What attracted me to the school was actually just wanting to like live outside of the city of Philadelphia. So like I'm from Philadelphia, and I originally applied to both Temple and Drexel and got accepted for both of their programs there. But I don't know, something about Marywood and Scranton just decided to come here.
A lot of people don't like that Scranton is such a small city. They want to go, to New York or Philadelphia, New Jersey. So you wanted kind of the opposite. You wanted to leave like a bigger city to come here. What was the reason behind that? It was just because it's too big of a city, or what was the reasoning behind it?
Now it's just something I was used to. So like I just wanted to branch out and get like a different feel. I've lived in Philadelphia all of my life, so it was the only thing I knew. So I figured if I'm going to go for architecture, I might as well like get out there and see something different.
Yeah, and what was it about? And I know the architecture building, it was an old gymnasium at one point, and Marywood refurbished it and everything like that. When you first saw the building, what did you think about it?
Mostly like that was kind of what I wanted to do, because like I actually didn't know like when I came here that you can just turn a gym into a school of architecture. And not only that, but you can turn it into like a high-tech like LEED accepted building. So like it's kind of something I like really wanted to aim for. So that kind of even just like made my decision like confirmed.
And what kind of, so you didn't never tour the campus. You got accepted at Temple and Drexel. So you saw it on orientation day, and did you declare a major at that point? That you wanted to go to architecture before coming to Marywood, or?
No. When I originally applied to Temple and Drexel, neither one of them offered much of an architecture program, so I applied with Temple mathematics and physics and with Drexel engineering. And then I saw Marywood and it had architecture, which is the thing I was looking for like 4 years of my life. So it was just like an immediate like, hey, I should like really do this since I like have this opportunity.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of the architecture program here? As you've spent, I think you're in your 4th year. So what's been your favorite part of the program? The professors, the environment.
I'd actually have to say the professors. So like each professor honestly has like a completely different look on like a lot of things. So like I know I can go to like one professor if I like really want to like look into like this one thing, or if I want to go to another professor to like get like a different opinion on this other thing. Sometimes I'll go to like multiple professors just like on a project just to ask like, hey, what do you think of this? And like usually they'll give me like some opinions, like precedents to look at, things like that. So it's like something that's been like really helpful actually over like my past 4 years here.
Nice. And having good professors definitely does help your mood in general and your drive to be better. But talk about what you want to do with your degree. What do you want to do when you graduate? What are you looking forward to in the future with yourself in this field?
I've recently gotten like an interest in like city planning. It's something I've kind of like always kind of wanted to do like slightly. Since I'm like from the city, I always figured like why not return there and see like what I can do with it. But like as of recently, I've taken like currently in our studio class, we're doing a kind of a city planning project, and like I'm also taking like an urban theories class where we do like a lot of like research and history on like what the city used to be like thousands of years ago to compare it to like what it is today. So it's kind of like a recent thing, but it's something I feel like really like sticking like years from now.
That is way over my head. City planning and roads and buildings and all those things, but it seems incredibly interesting. And how did illustration fit into all this? I know you're minoring in illustration, and what kind of branched you out to minor in that?
That's just more so kind of like a personal like just like branch for me. It was kind of personal and like wanting to like better myself in architecture. So like I wanted to get a lot better in like Adobe programs such as like Photoshop and Illustrator, After Effects, InDesign, things like that. And I know that's like a major focus in illustration. And then also I kind of like just drawing like random illustrations. So like mostly just like cartoon ideas and things like that. So I figured like why not apply it here since it's an option.
Yeah, and I've come to really like the Adobe suites as I have used them as well. But what's like the most fun project that you've or the most fun project, I guess, in your illustrating minor that you've done, or like a fun personal project that you've done?
I would say my most recent one actually. We had a project where we had to create gift tags. So we had to create like separate designs for like each gift tag, but they had to have a theme. So I kind of like decided that with my gift tags, I was going to create a storyboard based off of like different like songs I've always heard and like listened to and stuff. So like I found that like I was like really into it after like I found like difficult actually starting it, but like once I actually like got my idea down, I like got really into it.
No, that's interesting and really cool. But right after the break, I have a lot more to talk about with Dejon.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
In an attic, miniature construction worker figurines aim jackhammers into the holes of a leather belt. Standing on scaffolding, painter figurines work on the back of a red high-heeled shoe while others appear to paint the tip. Under a bed, a figurine of a patient lies tucked in the pocket of a white shirt while doctor and nurse figurines stand nearby. Mechanic figurines install a SIM card into a laptop. Nearby, more figurines stand among numerous household items. Your stuff can help fund job training and placement in your community. The Goodwill and Ad Council logos appear. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Thank you for staying with us as my conversation with Dejon continues. So now we're going to transition to your athletic side. Where did you find your passion for track and field? Were you like a multi-sport athlete growing up, or was that your main focus?
No, actually, like mostly growing up, I actually really didn't do athletics. And in high school, I actually played like soccer for like the club soccer team in my high school. When it came to track and field, I was actually suggested to join the team by my roommate at the time, Emmanuel. He was on the track and field team for their first season, I believe. And because like we would always like have like joke races and stuff, and I'll always like beat him in a race, he was like, "No, you might as well just join the team next year." So I decided to, and kind of just went from there.
Yeah, most athletes are recruited, but you were like a walk-on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for like my first few races, I did terribly. So like eventually like just worked on it a lot, hammered on it during the season. During the off season, I like also like worked out a lot. I did like a lot of mile runs. I did like a lot of my own like personal like practices and stuff. So like just pretty much just like hammering to like get better.
So it almost became, it became not as, it started as kind of like a joke. You would beat your friend in you know, joke runs or whatever. But then it kind of became personal. Once the first few races happened, you really wanted to better yourself. When was the first time that you met, has Ethan been your coach?
Yeah, the first time I met him was actually when usually like every year the track and field team has just like kind of like a walk-on thing where they invite athletes who are coming in and people who are interested. So that was the first time I actually met him. So he just like, you know, kept me on board, told me like minor things to do before the season started. I just kind of like worked on it from there.
And what was your first impression of him?
Always like he's been like a really like calm and like laid back coach. He's like a really chill coach. I mean, he can be like very serious if he wants to be, but like I can pretty much like go to him for like anything or any piece of advice, and he's like pretty much there.
Yeah, so take me to you touched on a few, your first two or three races. It was bad because you never had so take me back to the first race. Just your mindset. What was going through your head when you were lining up for that first race?
My first race, I honestly didn't worry about too much because I had 2 races that day. So my first race, I just kind of thought, it's just me racing against, 5 other guys. This isn't going to go bad. And then like, I lost the race horribly. So then in the second race, that's when I kind of got like really nervous. It was just like, well, crap, what do I do now? So, eventually, like I got like the hang of it, and like now I'm kind of like known. It's like kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. I'm known for having what is called a Pop-Tart diet.
A Pop-Tart diet?
Yes.
Explain.
Because apparently I eat all the Pop-Tarts that our coach buys for snacks. But because of this apparent diet, I'm also on a 2-year PR streak. So ever since that first race, there hasn't been a race where I've gotten any slower. I've only gotten better.
You gotta thank the Pop-Tarts, right?
Yeah, I really have to thank those Pop-Tarts.
I do eat Pop-Tarts every day, or almost every day, so I feel you there with the Pop-Tart diet. That is an interesting thing, though. What other, I guess, being a part of a team, I know you played soccer in high school, but being a part of this team, what has it meant for you in your growth as a person and growing your friends group, and just talk to me about being a part of a team in college like that?
Well, with the track team, we're kind of almost like, I want to say like a weird family, you could say. We don't have like a general like archetype. We're all just kind of just everywhere. Like, so like even at like track meets, we're kind of known for like being in the stands, just like kind of goofing off, like always joking and stuff. We like always like hang out with each other, continuously like joking, like playing around too much. But like when it comes to like the track itself, like the actual races, we are like dead serious. Like we care a lot, like to the point where it's like obvious. Like when we've had like good races or like bad races, like you could see it like just, it carries through us like all day as like individuals and like as a whole team.
So you have like a collective on-off switch to be goofy and funny and oddball, and then once you line up, it's serious.
Yes.
Do you have like competitions? Are you very competitive within the team, within each other to kind of drive each other to be better, or?
I wouldn't say competitive, but we do use each other to like get better. So like, because like I'm not the only person that runs 400s on my team, there are clearly people who are faster than me. There are clearly people who are slightly slower than me. But we all run our 400s at the same time. We use each other to pace ourselves. We use each other to like advance ourselves. We use each other to like know when we're slacking too much or when we have to like push even harder. So it's kind of something like that.
Keeping it to the team aspect, something that I can use for this broadcast. Do you have a good traveling story? Do you remember like a time of funny moments or things like that?
A good traveling story. That's actually kind of hard. I don't know why it's so hard right now, but that's actually kind of hard.
You're just perpetually a bunch of goofballs. Is that it?
I want to say like one time, like I'll go with like CSACs. Mm-hmm. So like our like past CSACs, we came in second place, which is huge for us. So like we were like excited. So like when I mean excited, I mean like excited.
Excited,
like,
yeah.
So like most like when we first hopped on the bus, like we were just all hyped and stuff, and then like we all kind of realized we were like dead tired. So like 10 minutes later, like the bus was just dead silent because everybody was just asleep on the bus. And so we got back. Our coach like congratulated us, like all of that. And I want to say 10 minutes after we left, our coach sent us an email, and it was an email on swagger.
Swagger?
Yes, swagger. He said like that day we showed like good swagger, and like what he means by swagger is like, you know, not only we performed well, but we looked like we performed well. We looked like we knew we were doing. We looked like just the dominating team that day. So like, but like we all kind of found that just funny because it was just like the coach just sent us an email about swagger. Yes.
Subject line swagger.
Yes, it was literally just that swagger. So
So we only have a few moments left, but I want your quick thoughts on next season. Your practice starts soon, yes. And what do you look for in yourself going into this track season?
For myself, just to keep performing and improving as I've been. So for me, the whole 2-year PR streak, I kind of take very seriously. So I try my hardest not to slack in practice. I try my hardest not to slack anywhere else academically or anything like that. So for me, I want to say it's performing and improvement. And for the team, I want to say it's also performing and improving, but also just doing better as a team. I mean, I feel like we do amazing as a team already, but even our coach sometimes just kills us when he's okay, y'all need to really stop slacking off. So just even though we have that switch, probably just improving that switch just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But keeping that swagger, always keep the swagger.
Oh
right?
yeah, keep the swagger. If we don't, coach might send us another email.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, Dejon. That was a great conversation. When we come back, I give you some insight on what to expect next week.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, that can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Got a quarter?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
I want to thank Dejon for talking with me tonight. I wish him the best of luck in the spring. I would also like to thank you for watching the show. Next week, Annie Hayen joins us. She's both a Marywood softball player and a setter for the Pacers volleyball team. She also sings and plays piano. Annie will perform for us next week. We're now 4 episodes into the season and are lucky enough to be joined again by Director of Athletics and Recreation, Dr. Mary Jo Gunning. We want to hear from you, so be sure to start sending in your questions that you would like me to ask Dr. Gunning to any of TV-Marywood's social media platforms using the hashtag AskGunning. Your question may appear on our season finale airing November 29th. Head over to TV-Marywood's official YouTube page to watch full episodes of the show. Be sure to follow TV-Marywood on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see all of you back next week. From everyone at TV-Marywood, have a great night.